We are live on the Virtual Grip Network for race 2 of round number 2 in the OBRL YesterYear Racing Cup Series. YesterYear, where past meets present. I'm Zach Chapman, a.k.a. Shaggy, along with my partner in crime, John Hine. We're lucky enough to have the heartbeat of EGN, the absolute best at bringing all the sights and sounds, the one and only Ryan Seneker. Last week, the OBRL was up north as our playoff contenders continued their battle at the flat New Hampshire Motor Speedway. It was an early caution that shook up the field as some drivers decided to pit, try to work their way through traffic, which would prove to be very difficult. A long green flag run would ultimately lead to a green flag pit stop, a stop where we would see Courtney Nelson try the undercut, giving him the lead for the first time. The Black Cat stayed true to his original strategy and drove himself 10 laps longer, hoping that the fresher tires would prove to be enough. Hill was able to catch Courtney with a power move and made the pass on the outside for the win to lock himself into round 3 of the playoffs. With only 2 races to go, who will punch their ticket tonight as we head into Dorothy's hometown track, the Kansas Motor Speedway. Now, John, we roll into here, race 2 of 3 in round 2. We've talked about it this whole time. If you're not a road racer, man, this is the last chance to really go in here and punch your ticket. What do we expect of the challenging mile and a half tonight that is Kansas Motor Speedway?
Well, 2 things. A massive sense of urgency. Guys are going to want to get out of here with a really good finish and gobble up as many points as they can. The Roval is just not the place you want to go to try to race your way in or, you know, count on a good finish or the thing's not happening. A lot of unpredictability in that track. And the other thing is, too, I think the cars that are going to do well, the drivers that are going to do well tonight are the guys that are disciplined. This is a track that invites you to not only overdrive the corners, but it also invites you to pick the throttle up earlier than what you need to, both of which will get you in trouble. If you overdrive the corners, you're going to eat up the right front, the right rear, and if you get in the gas too early, the back end wants to swap around and come around on you. And, you know, like I said, it's going to be a very disciplined race here. I think the drivers that can do that, stay disciplined to what they're doing on the track and not get caught up with what the other cars around them are doing, I think those are the guys that are going to flourish here tonight.
Well, you are running out of time here to punch your ticket, Ryan. Let's go ahead, pull up the points list here, because, I mean, for people who missed maybe the first half of the season, John, Dwayne MacArthur was the most dominant driver early on, and if it were to end right now, he is below that cutoff line by 1 point. I mean, this is man, he's got to get on it here.
Well, not just him, but Hislop, you know, Victor Lane, they're all in there. I think Brian Lynch is probably going to win, must-win situation. The other guys, you need to be aware of who's around you at the bottom end of that cut line. I mean, even you going up the line there, and you know, Courtney Nelson, you know, 15 points. You know, you get into trouble here. You can lose those 15 in a quick hurry. In fact, you look all the way up to the leaderboard. Nobody other than Daniel Hill who's got to win to punch his ticket to the next round. Everybody below Dan Hill, they got to make sure that they get out of here in one piece and have a solid race. Because if not, they could be facing a mountain that is Charlotte Speedway.
I'm throwing you under the bus here, John, because we didn't talk about this. I didn't think to, but 150 laps. Let's say this goes picture perfect green flag. We can one stop this tonight, can't we?
Yep. Yeah, one stop. And, you know, getting on and off pit road, I mean, it's been a theme that we've seen all season here. You know, do not make a mistake getting on off pit road. We've seen guys lose a lot of time, either maybe not getting in as quick as what they can, or speeding on pit road, or spinning on pit exit. If this is a track that it will not surprise me the way these guys run. If we don't go caution free, it won't surprise me in the least. This track is wide. Drivers are going to have options. These guys give each other room. These guys respect one another. This is a track where you could very easily see, a green to checkered with no cautions.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, not to throw any of those guys under the bus, but some of the mistakes John mentioned. They were made by some of the drivers there inside the chase. So it comes down to green flag pit stops. You have got to be on it. And it looks like John there getting ready to grid up here. Let's take a look at that starting order. Look at that familiar man on pole. Tom Ogle to the outside, Dwayne MacArthur.
Yeah, a couple of guys here that are stepping it up here late in the season. Clay Walker's going to roll off third. Next to him will be the number 1 of Greg McDaniel.
Andrew Kotska to the inside of row 3 to the outside, Grandpa Dakota Pishka.
Roger Hurley's going to start 7th in his 77. A lot of 7s there in that 7th spot. Next to him will be the 92, James Hislop.
Courtney Nelson lines up on the inside of row 5 to the outside, Sean Foltz.
Brian Lynch and Dan Hill is going to roll off 11th and 12th.
Row 7 to the inside, Patrick Martindale to the outside, Lee Worsdale.
Jeff Leiden and Andrew Medlin are going to start off in the 8th row.
Victor Lane finds himself on the outside of the cutoff. Needs a good run tonight. He starts on the inside of row 9 to the outside, Orange Childs.
Rounding out the top 20 are going to be Bill Martin and Robert Garisco.
Jerry Isaacs lines up on the inside of Fred Wolford the third. They're going to be row 11.
Andy Thomas and Michael Dowell are going to roll off 23rd, 24th.
Chris Bates lines up on the inside of Lloyd Moore for row 13.
And the first car not turning in a qualifying time here is going to be Stott Negus, and next to him will be David Brand.
Todd Cousins and Tommy Embassy going to make up row 15.
Jonathan Green and Bert Dobson are going to be in the next row.
And Nicholas Self and Lucky Larry Corey going to round out the field here at the Kansas Motor Speedway.
Yep. And we have
3 laps.
Yep, and we got 3 EOLs. Scott Negus is going to go to the back, David Brand going to go to the back, and Tom Embassy going to go to the back.
Hence why maybe they just wanted to make it easy, not qualify.
And Nick Self has got engine problems almost instantly, seeing that he's got a packet loss, so we will qualify that as an engine issue.
Oh, that is a tough break for Nicholas here. Is you're going to go at minimum if you join back in 2 to 3 laps down. So that is a tough break here. Not the way he wants to kick it off at the Kansas Speedway. I kept saying Kansas Motor Speedway. This is one of the ones, no motor involved, just straight Speedway. I think I like it a little more like that. As we roll off of 4, the final time, green flag waves, we're underway. 150 laps to play at the Kansas Speedway. Good jump there by Dwayne MacArthur. Sometimes, John, we see that guy on the outside. Just, maybe baby it, want to fall in line. But the general, he knows he needs some points. He's going to battle for the lead early.
Well, remember, you lead a lap, you get an extra point. So there's something here about leading this first lap and being on the outside. You can keep that car wound up. Just hope the tires stay under you. Colder tires right now.
And speaking of on the outside, we just caught it there. That red car in the back is there side by side. But, man, John, you said how you like to run around the wall before we came online. James Hislop through 3 and 4, and now he goes to the bottom. But he was right on the outside. Some of those guys right behind him, I believe Foltz running the outside. You think that's maybe a little better for tire wear on the outside, or do we think, middle bottom? What are your thoughts here?
It's all going to depend on how you approach your corner and get out of your corner. That's going to affect the tire wear. I don't think it's going to make a difference where you run on the track, the bottom, middle, or top. It's all going to be where you're lifting, how hard you're driving into the corner, and how hard you're driving off. You're into that throttle, especially off corner exit, and you still have that wheel turned even a little bit. You're going to start chewing up those right side tires.
Tom Ogle led that last lap, so they traded up front. Now the general's on the bottom. Tommy's upstairs here. Can he let the gun sling? Oh, boy, are we getting a slide job? Maybe a little bit here. Going to go up, shut the door. And now give it back to the general here. Man, these guys getting feisty here, John. We're only on lap 4. And look, here comes Andrew Kotska to P4.
Yeah, those guys are running like it's a Saturday night 30-lap special, at your local track. Lakeside isn't too far from this track, so, get over there to that dirt track and start running. That's what this looks like with slide jobs and running hard right from the go.
Let's go back to that all-white 28 machine, Ryan. Guarisco is on. Oh, I gave him the commentator's jinx. He just slapped it off the wall there coming off of 4. But he is on the move. Guarisco up 7 spots, started 20th. And man, oh man, he is giving that right side a shave there through 1 and 2.
Yeah, and this wall, running in practice there a little bit, it's funny. You can get through the corners, at least I felt like, running right against that wall, no problem. But I'll tell you, going down the front stretch, especially coming out of that tri-oval, that wall reach out and grab you a little bit.
No, and some guys are really flirting with it. I mean, you got a pretty good view there of Robert. Sean Foltz, you can see that car, I want to say 5 or 6 cars up, right up there against that outside wall. Sean absolutely using every inch of real estate. You can see the big run he gets off the top as he blows the doors off the 4 of Dakota Pishka.
Yeah, the benefit about, getting out close to that wall, especially at the end of the both front and back stretch, is it allows you to arc the car into the corner, and that's how you'll save tires. If you can really manage to arc the car into the corner and float it into the corner, you're going to make your tires last a lot longer than being a lane down away from the wall and having to turn into the corners.
I missed that invite. I didn't see it scheduled. The top 4, they are all together here all of a sudden under a blanket. As you see Dwayne MacArthur here thinking about making the move, and oh man, Hislop, he's trying to make it 5 as he bounces off the wall coming off of 4. These guys, man, I know we say this car's durable, John. I don't want to be that broken record here, but you cannot get away with too many of those slaps coming off of turn 4. I mean, you are carrying so much speed here today.
Yeah, you really do. And, I said it at the top of the show here, there's going to be a different sense of urgency, I think, out on the track here today. And that is really kind of showing itself. These guys are really, I don't want to say not giving inch, and we got a caution.
Yes, we do. Yellow flag. Chris Bates, I'm thinking, is involved here. Not too sure if it's a solo spin or not. We'll try to get a better view of it here. Yeah, he just gets a little loose.
Yeah, really easy to do if you're turning that wheel and carrying too much speed, and try to correct it and overcorrect it. And oh man, I'll tell you, who paid the price on that was Fred Wolford, third. He just overcorrected it. And I think we saw that in the race today where John Hunter Nemechek got a little squirrely over there and overcorrected, and I think took out, I think he bounced off the 21 there today.
He may have, Chris Bates, it looks like, no, I went in the overhead blimp camera, and John hit the nail on the head. I mean, it looked like to me he originally was going to bounce off that 00 of Lloyd Moore, but no contact at all. I mean, you could have
just overcorrected and right up into Fred Wolford there, the 95, and that's a tough break for Fred.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, the hit was somewhat square, as the damage doesn't look too bad as I'm looking over it, but you're still going to feel that in the steering wheel.
Jerry Isaacs pitting early here. Maybe just to go gas only. I'm going to maybe guess here, see if he can run a little bit longer.
So Fred Wolford, I said it doesn't look too bad. Look at that right front. Hence the meatball flag. Fred Wolford, right front. Yeah, that is destroyed.
He hit hard. And not only did he get it from one side with the from the 81, he got it from the wall too. So, but I'll tell you, this caution here is going to allow those leaders to take a breath here for a minute. And what a start to the race here. Hey, Zach, with the caution lights don't go off the pace car here real quick. Maybe we should pull up one of these leaders, either Ogle or MacArthur here.
I already did here, John. We've got Greg McDaniel with us. We read each other's mind. Greg, Shaggy in the booth, man. You got a copy?
I do. How you guys doing?
Man, not as good as you right now. I mean, you were reeling those front 2 in. You're sitting there 3rd place, and, you're in the next round of the playoffs right now if it were to end. That being said, how important is a win here tonight? You going to go for one?
Boy, I don't think this is the place I'm going to win. I think the top 5 I might be able to talk to you guys at the end of the night, but I don't think I'll be winning unless something weird happens where I got an extra set of tires or something at the end. But I think I'll definitely stay in the top 4 or 5, hopefully. So hopefully I'm not lying to you, and that's what I'm hoping for.
Well, hey, I'll pull you back up there, Greg. I was hoping we'd get one more lap, but you guys are going green. Go get them, brother. We're rooting for you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good show.
Yeah, John, I was too late. We were thinking the same thing. I'm sorry. I was too late.
No, that's all right.
Didn't pull the trigger quick enough.
Yeah, no, we thought about it a little late. That's why I was like, hey, let's see if that light pace light can go off here. And we talked to somebody here real quick, but that's what you get for kind of reviewing what happened on the track. And you know what? That's okay. At least everybody's aware of what's going on out there. And man, this restart's going to be big here. And this time, Ogle's going to be on the point here. And last time we saw them, you know, they really stayed on each other's doors all the way through 1 and 2.
Yeah, obviously starts of the race, I do believe, on green. So Tom will have a little bit more of an advantage here, but Dwayne needs to do what he can. Try to stick right to that outside here as we enter the Geico restart zone. Tom has a great restart, and he's pulling along Mr. Greg McDaniel here. We've got a battle for second, John.
Yeah, we just talked to him here, Greg McDaniel, and he's got the leader right out his windshield here and trying to make that move into second place. Going to relegate Dwayne MacArthur. He pulls it off. MacArthur falls back to third with Koska fourth.
Oh, the commentator's not unjinxed. Look at this. Third to first, 1 lap here. Does he get it as he fights the bottom through 3 and 4? You're exactly right, John. Needs that point, and Greg McDaniel going to get it here as he leads lap number 12. Mr. Ogle right back to that outside. You got, I mean, really dealer's choice here tonight, John. I mean, similar lines between first and third, but really there is some difference. And I mean, you look at the top 5, even 6 drivers, all really work in a different area of the racetrack.
Yeah, I think where I was my fastest in practice was actually either up on the wall or right across the seal that you can see. Kind of, you can almost, if you go into the corner, you can see a seal that kind of divides the lanes there with the white stripes in them, but kind of straddling that bottom lane into that second lane. But McDaniel is, he's grabbed control of this thing.
He really has. He's unleashing the pace here, and I'm wondering if Clay Walker here is going to try to do the same. That Tomb Machine not in the chase here, but man, he'd love to get a win here. Really show those boys, hey, I belong, and you're lucky I didn't make it. Because, man, Clay, he's somebody who, John, I think you mentioned there actually at the start. I mean, he is somebody these past couple weeks, I mean, he's kind of been on it. I mean, constant top 10 after top 10.
Yeah, you know, and I don't know how much the experience, you know, you bring into these things, but seat time, you know, the more and more you get it late in the season here, long season, you know, with a big update in the middle of it. So, a lot of things to learn, a lot of things to learn here in these cars and driving these Cup cars.
As the General tries to take a peek under Mr. Tom Ogle here, this is the battle for second. I want to mention here, Fred Wolford III has decided to pack it up after the hard contact, so Lightning McQueen is no more here this evening in Kansas as Tom gets that big run off at 2.
Oh, the 7's almost around. Oh my gosh, I don't know how he saved it.
Oh, and it looked like Courtney Nelson possibly got in the outside wall trying to miss it. Here is, oh man. Let's take a look here. Just the same thing we saw bring out the first caution here.
But Dan Hill,
Courtney
what a
did
save.
not get go on board with Courtney Nelson, Ryan. Can you do that one more time? Because the fact that he didn't get into him or in the wall, I think that's possibly, I mean, that is the, what do they call that? The good hands move of the race. I mean, look at that. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, and that's one of those where, you know, if you're in a race car, you know, usually if a guy in front of you gets in trouble, if you're right behind them, you can see that they're in trouble before they know they're in trouble. That back end will start moving around and you can see it coming. And, man, you know, that really helped Courtney out there. But what a job by him not to just drive through him, though. Incredible racing. Incredible save and incredible avoidance.
Yeah, and realistically, you know, Courtney, if he gets in the back of Daniel there, I mean, no shade for Daniel. He's already in the next round, but it could have really ruined Courtney. I mean, he needs a win, I mean, he's pretty comfortable right now. I believe he got second last week, so should be P2 in the points, pretty close to it. But still, I mean, you don't want to put the pressure on you at a road course.
Well, but Courtney's probably going to be one of the guys to beat next
That's
week.
what I mean,
Oscar's
John.
really
That's
good.
enough pressure right there.
Yeah.
You don't want to put more on yourself and needing it.
Yeah.
Oh, man, Victor Lane, he's on the outside. It looks like he may prevail, though, as he got Negus in the McDonald machine trying to will that bottom line. Patrick Martindale, though, he looks like there he got a little loose, John, coming off a 2, and Victor able to easily clear. Now we got the 102 on the outside. I believe that's Cousins.
We got, yeah, MacArthur is really coming at McDaniel now. Zach, here's something else you want to think about, too, for next week. You don't want to walk out of here with a penalty and get an EOL next week either. So, yeah, how you drive, you probably got to try a little harder to make sure that doesn't happen as we get a new leader here.
That is a great point. I never even thought about that as, well, you said it, Dwayne MacArthur takes the lead, but, man, it is no slap on the wrist next week. Any penalty you get, I mean, that is absolutely huge, you know. You're not going to get a caution flag next week, no matter how bad the wreck is. And you know it, John, if you start in the back, you're the one having to lift for those wrecks. Well, meanwhile, the guys out front, they're just going to continue running. So you have got to put your best behavior on here tonight.
Yeah, and Ogle now is moving in on McDaniel here. So I think we're going to have a battle for second here, probably by the time we get to the start-finish line. Koska's in this fray, too. Oh, we got a caution
flag. Another caution flag, and Patrick Martindale and Victor Lane involved. I'm seeing. Oh, Victor Lane. This is not going to be good here for the playoff chances.
No, and it looks like Martindale got loose, and we've seen this before. Overcorrects into the outside wall and gets in the lane, but he also got a hold of Todd Cousins, too. So Cousins, kind of a 3-car wreck there. Cousins took a pretty good shot in the wall.
Yeah, that is. And John, I mean, you know, it's not to any shade at the drivers because we know how difficult this could be. But you did mention that you saw lots of incident points tonight in practice, and I think it's just got to do, you know, slick racetrack, guys not having a lot of grip, and
here they come to the road.
We go back live here.
MacArthur was going to stay out.
Did you see that? Yes, yeah, you're exactly right, John. MacArthur was going to stay out, and every single car went below that line
He
and kind of
no
forced
part
his
of that.
hand. Oh man, that is funny there. That's
well,
great.
You know what else that tells me? Tire wear is an issue. These guys are usually pretty good about keeping their tires under it. The fact that we're 23 laps in and they're all on pit road, the track's eating up tires, but. Remember at the top of the show, I said discipline and everything, you know, getting into the corners and out of the corners here are going to be crucial because this track invites you to overdrive the corners. And when you do, it's real easy to lose that back end. Now, we've seen it about 3 different times, 2 of which have caused us cautions. So I think this is going to be a reoccurring theme for the night. Watch for corner entry to really catch some guys out here as we can move through the race.
The master of strategy, Jerry Isaacs, 2 tires, John. You like it?
Well, remember, Isaacs pitted at the end of that last caution, so I don't know if he took tires in or not, but yeah, I do like it because he's probably got minimal wear on those left side tires.
Yeah, and I got to think, you know, it's not necessarily that you'll want to, but, you know, you almost run that line that Ogle was running on the outside. You just play a little defense, you know, maybe take away that corner entry and make sure you roll it off. It's a lot harder to pass somebody than you'd think here. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're a quicker car, you know, I think you'd say the same here, John. You can definitely find a way around.
Ryan Lynch not pit? He's getting the waiver on. There we go.
He stayed out. Yep, he was getting the waiver on.
Okay, so we're not going to have any cars, and that's going to put Isaacs right behind the pace car.
Victor Lane will stay on the lead lap. Bill Martin, he does just get past there on the inside, so he's coming off. You can just see there at the top, Bill down the Diet Mountain Dew machine.
Yeah, and they're going to have to giddy up to get back around here to get up back on the tail end of this field as we are 1 to go.
Yeah, I would say, you know, Daytona or Talladega gets a little more stressful. It is no fun getting the wave around at those places. You have got to go.
No, and I guess on the bright side, if you do get caught up in a wreck, you can go right over across from turn 4 over there, hit the Dave and Buster's and hang out, have a drink, and watch the race.
Oh, no way, man. That is awesome. I just realized the soccer
Yeah,
field in the back.
Yeah, yep, that's the soccer stadium, but there's a whole retail complex over there. It's actually pretty cool. Used to have a dinosaur restaurant, T-Rex Cafe.
I wonder if that's where Dorothy got sucked into Oz here as we get ready to go back racing. Jerry Isaacs takes the green flag. Pretty good restart. Greg McDaniel didn't have it this time the way he had it before. Greg McDaniel should be, or excuse me, Dwayne MacArthur should be able to shut the door on Greg McDaniel. He does, and Tom Ogle, he gets a run on the outside, but he's going to have to lift here. And here comes the run for the lead.
Boy, these guys have no room for error. Somebody slips up the least little bit, you're going to wad up 3 or 4 cars.
It doesn't look like Jerry Isaacs. I mean, he's not way slower,
yeah.
but it just looks like, yeah, the car maybe not as balanced as he like, just not hooking up in the center of the corner. Can't grab the throttle.
He's definitely got some track position because he was back a ways. So, you know, give it a few laps and I'll bet you that the tires will equalize out. You know, he might end up around 10th, 11th, but that's better than where he was.
See the GOAT, Clay Walker, taking a peek underneath here. Sean Foltz trying to take the next bite of the apple. And he's got a little bit of a gap to fall down in line. Here's Tom Ogle. You see that blue STP machine look low. He moves up to P2. The Cartoon Network machine thinks about shutting the door, but look, oh man, I thought the Canadian was going to be able to get his nose under there. Andrew Kotska thought best of it, just had to fall in line.
Yeah, now they're primarily nose to tail all the way back until you get to Dakota Pischke and then the 78 car. Those guys are trying to come forward with Andrew Medlin right there.
No, and you know that 78 of Courtney Nelson, I mean, the caution, super big help to him because he had to check up. He lost about 6 or 7 spots there, having to lift for Daniel Hill, and now it's been able to get him to reset. Well, John, you know, I mean, if you're willing to be aggressive.
And now Medlin's around.
Oh, you're in contact there with Lloyd Moore. Lloyd's still fighting it. There's a little more contact. Lloyd's going around. No! Oh, we got the big one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Daniel Hill, oh, but that, you know, the boy right now, Daniel Hill is thinking about that win.
Oh, they're still making contact. You think Lloyd's got it saved there, and then just bounces off that car on the inside. He swerves up to avoid.
MacArthur is like hauling the mail coming out of 4. He better get off the gas. Here he is. He was going around to catch the pace car, and they're still getting vehicles turned around on right there in that tri-oval.
Oh man, he's gonna make it. He's gonna make it. He's not gonna make it. I mean, all of a sudden, 65 comes up the racetrack, and nowhere for Daniel Hill to go there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of guys there that probably kind of wish maybe they got off the gas a little bit earlier, and guys kind of piled in there. But man, I tell you, he fought that to the bitter end, didn't he?
Yeah, he definitely gave it his all. But I got a feeling, you know, and they're all around the same all the time. But you make a mistake, I think he may be getting one of those EOLs you were talking about. That's a tough break.
Well, and I told you, I was watching the field, and it was like, man, if somebody slips, they're going to wad up a bunch of cars. I just said that, and sure enough here, that's why these starts are so precarious. Guys are, you know, there's not a lot of room for error on a track that, you know, to go fast, you have to drive the cars right to the edge on this track, get them right to their limit. And I think that's why, honestly, that's what makes this track so much fun. But boy, that room for error, it's almost non-existent.
See here, we got one more lap around. John, you want to have your pick?
Oh, why don't we call up MacArthur here?
Sounds good. You get him first. I'll do the follow-up.
Hey, fellas.
Hey, Dwayne, this is John. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, bud. You know what? You got the best seat in the house. You know, only thing in front between you and thin air there's a pace car, and that's a good thing right now. But How do you see this race playing out here? You know, I think to go fast here, I was just saying, I think you really got to push the car almost right to the edge, leaving almost no room for error. But how do you see it from inside the cockpit?
Yeah, it's a little bit, you have to be a little bit easy. It feels like the front right really wants to go away. The tires are wearing really fast. And right now I think we're right tight on fuel. So I think we're going to have to take it easy for a little bit here and see how it plays out. If we get another caution right away, then we can come in and kind of sprint to the finish. But right now I think we got to play the long game.
Well, speaking of these cautions, and that's kind of where I'm going here, Dwayne, do you think you need to save a set for maybe a caution with 30 laps to go or so? Or are you just going to, just kind of game plan and take them as you need them for now?
Yeah, I think you do. This track, there's 3 usable lanes here, so a huge tire advantage at the end of the race. You'll be able to capitalize on it. So I was going to stay out last time, and I saw the field coming, so I chased them in. But keeping a set will pay off here.
Well, go get them, General. We're rooting for you, man.
Hey, thanks. I got a big hole I got to overcome, so I'm getting after it.
Dwayne
Well,
MacArthur.
Zach, we saw that, right? He looked up in his mirror that last set of pit stops, saw the whole field going in, and he made a hard left turn.
Oh, I mean, he would have been doomed and realistically would have had to pit probably this caution and then would have fell to the tail end. And I just don't know if, you're going to be able to make up that kind of track position tonight. Don't get me wrong, great driver, but man, it's just going to be difficult to pass here with 3 lanes.
Well, real quick, if they're that worried about tires, and he said it, you know what? You may not have a set at the end. I'm wondering if they're going to go through all the sets tonight just through the natural course of racing.
Yeah, I think somebody, going to have to play the game here and, maybe try to long stint this one. Save the 2 for the end here as the pace car pulls off. It's set to enter the Geico restart zone, and the 83 drops the hammer. We're back underway here. Lap 34, 117 laps to go. Good run on the outside for Kotska here. He's not going to be able to take advantage, but Tom Ogle may. He's going to take a run to the inside here, and we got a battle for the lead. Not much of a battle there, John. Tom made that look easy. He was ready to go.
And we just heard MacArthur talk about, hey, I'm going to be keeping it easy here a little bit to see if I can't stretch this run. So one way to use up your stuff is battle hard. So that could be strategic there.
Yeah, I wonder too, John, you're perfect here tonight. You mentioned, he needed to save. I forgot all about that. You're not going to get a whole bunch, but do you think there's any 5-6 throttle going on down the straightaway here? Maybe getting some draft off that 11 machine?
100%. I think let them pull you along. I don't think they're worried about fuel as much as they are tires here, because it doesn't sound like the tires are going to go through a fuel run. So this is all about tire saving here.
Scott Negus trying to get to the outside. He's going to get the run here. No, he's not. Dakota, is he going to shut the door? He does. Man, Negus just trying to fight here in that 94 machine as you're watching James Hislop and Jerry Isaacs. Isaacs on the outside. Maybe after that quick run, maybe, John, maybe you were right too. Maybe that quick green flag run, they recool off here. Isaacs doesn't seem to be at that disadvantage that he was before the caution.
No, but he's still, he just gave up a spot there. So I still think I'm really surprised the 2 tires aren't going the way they are. But maybe, like I said, they'll equalize here at some point, maybe in the next few laps. And when they do, even if he stays within the top 10 or right around the top 10, that's still a net gain for him with those tires.
Negus right back to the inside on Pishka here. Let's see here. Grandpa going to try to get that run on the outside in the all-black form machine. He does. The Monster Energy number 4. Just too much energy there for Negus this early on. Negus may need to be yelling at his wife here. He may need a Red Bull or something here to compete on the inside. He gets it at the line, but got to go right back to work here, and I think they touch a little bit. And that may be what Negus needs here. That's going to slow down the 4 a little bit. And he should go up and does go up. Shut the door. Andrew Kotka gets around Greg McDaniel, too. John made that look easy as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Koska's moving up. But back there with Foltz and Jerry Isaacs, man, those guys are just running hard back through there.
I'm hearing from the man in the back, Torrance Childs. He maybe came down pit road too hot. He does indeed have a black flag. They're not too sure. Doesn't tell us what he did, but he did something naughty. Still sitting on pit road. As Tom Ogle leads the way. Who was that in the outside wall? Jeff Lydon, that 39. He is losing spots. I think he rode he tried the Ross Chastain move there through 3 and 4.
Move, huh?
He was in the wall, I think, that whole way. And, man, he lost 7 or 8 spots there at least. Going to be a tough lap for the 39 is James Hislop. Going to take a peek under the goat here, Clay Walker. Clay going to get that run coming off the corner. He should be able to go down, shut the door. He does, and I'll be able to get some draft here off the 51 of... the 1 of Greg McDaniel.
Yeah, and just an update from a few laps ago, that big crash we saw, Larry Corey, Andy Thomas, and Lloyd Moore have all called it a day and are probably heading over to that Dave & Buster's right across the way there to have a beverage and watch the race.
Yeah, they do the Sunday game day specials, I believe, so that's a good time to go over there. Get some wings, get yourself a game card. And
give me Top Golf for that. Go watch the games over there and hit some balls.
See, closest Top Golf to me about an hour and 20 minutes. I mean, it is nice, but I'm much closer to a Dave & Buster's. Here is Hislop goes to the outside, gonna get around the goat Clay Walker. And next on that list is that Cartoon Network machine. And with the way James, oh man, I thought he was gonna get in the wall there. Able to just sneak by. James is using it all there on the outside.
Yeah, James, if I don't remember correctly, but I don't know that, I hate to use the word not a strong road racer, but I think James is one of those that does not want to leave his season up to Charlotte. No,
just too many wild cards at Charlotte. One mistake, and like I say, that no caution, you're not going to get the break. And all of a sudden, Courtney Nelson here taking a peek under Jerry Isaacs, still on those 2 tires. Scott Negus maybe going to try to follow Courtney along here. But Courtney is called. Yeah. Well,
the draft.
Courtney, you just can't, highlight enough that big move that he made to knock it in the back of Daniel Hill, keep that nose clean. And before you know it, John, that 78, he may be a factor in the outcome of this race.
Yeah, he just kind of inching his way forward after dropping back, like you said, several spots there, for wreck avoidance, basically. Nothing on his plate. He didn't make any mistakes, but that might turn out to be a big deal because if he's a top 5 car, boy, that could have all got thrown away in that instant.
Yeah, and you hear the drivers talk about you get bonus points for 0 incident points. So the fact that didn't get into him, that's a huge point swing. So Negus now going to take this peek under Jerry Isaacs. They're both floating up the racetrack. Oh, whoa, man. Oh, boy, he left Isaacs just enough room, and Isaacs had to use absolutely all of it there as he gets a little loose. Coming off the 4, gets a little loose there again on corner entry. And you see, not able to pick that throttle up as early as he'd like, but he does get back to the outside.
Yeah, and those 2 battling are going to bring the 99 of Lee Wardstell in.
Yeah, Lee loving what he sees here. For a while. But that Viagra machine, he doesn't want it to be too hard when he tries to make this move here to the inside. And right now, those guys hogging up all the lanes here. He might have to go high, wide, and handsome here. As you look in his mirror, somebody else is thinking about it.
Yeah, Lydon's recovered. He popped off the wall a few laps ago after running well within the top 10 there. So But, you know, the thing, Wardstell, you know, his biggest issue right now is those guys are occupying those lanes, and Wardstell doesn't really have anywhere to go. He's just got to be patient here and let those guys work it out, and then figure out if he's better than them. But that is pushing him back into the 39 of Jeff Leiden.
Yeah, objects in rear view may appear closer than they actually are, but I can tell you, he is pretty close. That 39 is coming, and if he doesn't,
he's running the top too. He's running
that's
higher than the other ones. He's going up against the boards. That's where you sell T-shirts, man. That's where you need to be.
And that's where, if Lee isn't willing to do it here, he may lose the spot stuck behind these guys, because, I mean, Leiden, he's showing he's willing to go up there and try it. Maybe the 99 got to think about it here. Man, Negus and Isaac says, I have a hiccup there. Back and forth. They cannot. Oh, my God. I'm going to keep hiccuping. John, you take over.
Oh, what'd you do? Go to Buc-ee's again today? You get one of those pulled pork sandwiches? But I'll tell you, you know, we got battles all over. Not only did the 51 and the 94 really battle it out, but they're battling once again up towards the front. Walker and 78 are trying to work things out there. Now they get back single file. So it looks like the 94 and 51 looks like they've got things settled out too. But I'm going to be watching that 39, who's really got the momentum going on the top side. He's been getting monster runs coming off the top of the track there.
That's, of course, Jeff Leiden, as I may have won my battle with the hiccups here. We do not know. This is the battle for 18th. Tom Emissy going to get it done easily. I believe that was under Jonathan Green in the 98 machine. It was. Now, interesting to note, though, you know, that may have been the battle for last. But, well, no, actually, Scott Negus plus 18 spots. I thought that was the battle for the hard charger, because Tom Emissy and Jonathan Green now both up 12 spots from the start of this race.
Yeah, lots of comers and goers for sure. I think we're going to see more of that swapping around. Oh, James Hislop is.
Oh no, James!
He's locked. I'm going to tell you, everybody watching this broadcast, if you're an iRacer, that is how you do it. James not only saved his car, but a lot of other cars by keeping his foot on that brake, letting the field go rather than just trying to keep the car rolling. When you're on a straightaway like that, locking that car down, I cannot sing enough praises for James for what he just did there. That is textbook what you're supposed to do when your car comes around on you. Lock them up and hold that brake.
Smart enough, too, to lock it up sideways rather than at this initial angle that he's at, because when he chirps it, you can see it roll there. If he doesn't chirp it sideways, he is not getting that caution flag, and that is a veteran move. And in real life, you are going to get that caution flag, so I see nothing wrong with that at all. But iRacing can be ticky-tack, and they weren't going to give him that if he keeps that straight. Yeah, I mean, that is.
We're going to see everybody. Yeah, here they all come too on pit road.
Yeah, Lee, where's the... Oh, nope. I thought he was going to stay out there. He comes in. Everybody looking like they're a taker here except the 77 of Roger Hurley. Roger going to be the only guy to stay out. I think he's just got to be in the camp of, you know, maybe we're going to have another caution here, 30 laps, and then he can have that extra set of tires. I mean, that would be huge if you could keep getting these caution flags. As we're hearing, he was last pitted lap 31, so about 20 laps green flag probably. Maybe a little more. Oh, did Kotska win that race off pit road over Tom Ogle? Oh my gosh, that had to be by fractions of an inch. Huge job there by Andrew Kotska. I mean, John, we've seen how hard it is to pass Tom Ogle this season, and if you can do it on pit road like that, it's huge.
Yeah, and Zach, I'm going to point something out here that if I'm a crew chief, I'm alarmed right now. We are not even halfway, and we've already used our half our tires. these guys are gonna have to. I think like Dwayne said, really figure out a way to stretch them. Because if we go another 20, 30 laps and boy, the end of this race is gonna get real interesting. Is all I'm gonna say.
No, and I think if we go another 20 laps here, that's where you're going to see that 77 maybe not do so hot here, but it all of a sudden may look like a genius strategy here if we get 2 or 3 more cautions to close this out.
Well, and you know who else is going to be behind the 8 ball here is Jerry Isaacs, because he used that right set. Now that still counts as a set. So he's down to, we've got 100 laps to go, a little less than 100 laps to go, 90 some odd laps to go. He's got 1 set of tires. Yeah. So, and he's already had one where he took 2, and one before that. So I think he's on his last set. He's got 1 set to go with a long way to go here.
Yeah, they might be trying to talk to NASCAR, get them to exchange that left sides for right sides.
Yeah. Or get them to mount a bunch of tires like they did at Bristol a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, this is normally, I mean, you go back any broadcast, you hear us praise the way they could milk the tires, but the racetrack proven to be difficult here this evening. Well, we got a new leader out front. The 77 stays out, track position, gets the bonus point, green flag waves. We're back underway here. We've got, let's see, 94 laps to go. I mean, this should be over in no time here, John.
Yeah, and man, like I said, I'm going to be fascinated here about this tire wear here. But we got a battle for the lead almost instantly here.
Yeah, Ogle, no choice there. Didn't want to make it 3 wide. He didn't.
McDaniel almost overdrive and went into MacArthur. 3 wide there.
Man, that 77 of Roger Early is just trying to hold on. He does not want to be the bug on the windshield right now, as he is just trying to keep pace here as he is gripping the wheel. Guys are blowing by him, and that is the tire difference. But we've got a battle for the lead. Tom Ogle to the outside here. He's got the run and the slight lead going into 3.
You know, I'm not so sure if I'm not in the top 3. I'm content on running my space and not battling anybody. But these guys are battling side by side across the start finish line here.
Yeah,
as a fan, I'm glad they're battling. But I'm telling you, if I was a crew chief or a driver, boy, this would be making me nervous.
Yeah, I mean, and just, to put that out there, we've gone 50 laps, or almost 60 now, but there's about 25 maybe laps each for each set of tires, if even, and guys were struggling. So now they have this set and another set, and I mean, do the math, 90 some laps to go. That's almost 50 laps on each set of tires they have to go. So this, this could be quite difficult here, as you see a little contact in the back, but they all roll on, and Negus on the outside here. He's getting a push here from the 99 of Worsdale. Worsdale going to keep it up on the outside now. Maybe try to get a run here off of 4.
Yeah, these guys in the back need to know that 77 is on old tires here, or they're going to run into the back of them. I think the closing rate is just too high here. I think Hurley, if he can stay on the lead lap here, because I think he's going to end up all the way to the tail, but if he can stay on the lead lap here, catch a caution, maybe in 20 laps, you're right, Zach. He might be in the catbird seat for the end of this race.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, if we get another caution in 20 laps, and then we get another one about 25 laps from there, it's his race to lose, I think, as long as he can stay on the lead lap here, as you mentioned. But with the way he's driving right now, that may be difficult here if we get a long green flag run.
Yeah, that's 3 wide. Fishke on the outside, Medlin in the middle, and they make it work.
James Hislop trying to follow it around the outside here. That's Guarisco off his nose. The 77 of Hurley to the inside, who you could see.
Oh, Guarisco just popped the wall.
Yes, he did there, and Hurley led us about 3 laps ago, has fallen back to 15th, now possibly 16th, as James finally does get to the outside. Oh, and we got some more behind him here. The bleeding will not stop.
Now Hurley will end up on the tail end here, but the big thing is can he stay on the lead lap and catch a caution? That's really what he needs.
Sean Foltz thinking about taking a peek here on Courtney Nelson for 5th as he looks to the inside here. He had a big run going on the front stretch, but Courtney likes that outside off of 2. We'll pull back away here, and maybe not too long before both of them try to go to work on this Cartoon Network machine because they are reeling in that front group. You see Brian Lynch on the outside of Hurley. Hurley now starting to maybe regulate a little bit. You could see a speed necessarily not there, but the guys aren't pulling away from him like they were. And if Hurley can just keep this pace, get the cautions to fall, man, that's your guy here. You go put your bet on him now. See Embassy taking a peek on the inside. That's Johnny going on the outside. Lee Worsdell and Jeff Lyden on the inside. Remember, we saw him bounce off the wall about 30 laps ago, 20 laps ago through 3 and 4. But it is since he's gotten the handling back, a new set of tires, and he's looking to hold off that 99 machine of Worsdell. As Lee falls back in line here. Oh, man, the 99 had his hands full. Looked like a snake there sliding off at turn 2. As John, these guys slipping and sliding here. They got a long, long way they need to go here.
Yeah, and man, you know, you're right about this. If this keeps up, though, those laps are going to click off, though. And, you know, Zach, I mean, you know, I can't imagine that we're not going to get a green flag run here is, you know, more than 30 laps at some point. If this is, in fact, that long green flag run, I mean, this has got to be the question on everybody's mind. How far do you stretch those tires? Yeah, where do you use them? You know, that's going to be a tough question.
You got Negus taking a peek here under Jerry Isaacs. Going to make that look easy. Isaacs maybe feeling the same way you're feeling, John. Sensing a long green flag run. Not going to fight you now here. Need something for later. And Foltz back to the rear end. And Nelson gets loose.
Oh, he saved it.
Oh, no, Negus on. We're under caution again. Oh, Scott Negus involved. And Courtney Nelson.
That's big.
John. Pressure's on.
Big.
Pressure is on next week at the Roval.
That car, I think, is going to be pretty beat up to continue. Just barely caught Clay Walker and nosed him right up into the wall there. And that car's got a lot of damage, Zach. A lot of damage. So yeah, you're right. I think his hopes are going to be, it looks like he's going to try to drive it back around, but man, I'm telling you, his hopes are going to be pinned on Charlotte, which, lucky for him, he's a pretty darn good road course racer.
Yeah,
but Zach, question is that going to warrant an EOL?
Oh man,
that's a big one.
Okay, Tom Ogle, he's bluffing. Not gonna bring the boys down pit road.
I wouldn't come now. Ain't no way I'd come now. It looks like Hurley is.
Yeah, if you're Hurley, you come down right now and you pray to the racing gods that we stay green.
Yeah, those guys are all, the other guys are all victims of earlier wrecks and probably coming in to fix damage and whatnot. But man, I feel bad for Courtney here. He is going to have his work cut out for him. And like I said, insult to injury. If that pops up into an EOL next week, oh my gosh, that's going to be a tall task next week.
No, you got to feel for Negus, but lucky there for the 78 Negus. He decided he called it a night. He disconnected. So that lap around there for Courtney Nelson should give him that spot. Nelson missed the box, has to back up there, insult the injury.
He probably didn't have brakes enough to get the box. But I'm telling you, you know what? It's been a long time here, Zach, since we've seen attrition like this. I mean, we're looking at, let's see, 3, 6, almost 9 cars maybe that are out of the race already now.
Ryan, while we're rolling, can you pop up that points graphic one more time just so I can kind of refresh here, and we'll take a look. So Victor, he's had some trouble here tonight. Courtney, he was 15 to the good. So
yeah, but he's gonna be on that other side. But yeah.
Yeah, man, it's
Victor
it is
Lane
gonna be
has
wild.
been trouble here, and yeah, and I think I really do think Isaacs is in trouble.
Yeah, Jerry's another one. Yep, we're gonna have to figure this out
After
here.
those tires, I think, and not that he's done anything wrong or damage. I think he's behind the eight ball with the tires. I really do.
Yeah,
But Jerry, you know, he is one of those guys that can make, you know, really stretch stuff out though.
we're heading down the backstretch here for the final time before we get set to go back racing. Andrew Kotska, well, really, because Daniel Hill had that trouble. I mean, any one of those guys take a win here and lock themselves into the next round. And that is exactly what you need to do here at the unpredictable Charlotte Roval coming up next week. You need to get yourself in now, and especially, you know, I mean, Courtney, you got to think. Everybody knows it. I mean, he is going to be driving with a mission next week, so you got to go try to get your win here tonight. You know, maybe you get lucky, you get one at the Roval, but try to seal it tonight as the green flag waves. We're back underway. Lap 72 here as we are 3 laps from halfway. MacArthur there makes the move easy there for P2, gets around Ogle. McDaniel shuts the door on the GOAT Clay Walker, and behind Sean Folst, the first guy to kind of rally that outside, try to get him rolling. Now Leiden up there, he says the 59 going to go down. I'll take the torch here. He goes to the outside. Oh, Isaacs creeps up to that right rear, going to get a little side draft. You see it slows down the 39 of Leiden. Isaac gets that pool here, and does he go up? Does he think about shut the door? Not going to have the clearance. Here's the 39, too big a run off the outside, and the boss man, Victor Lane, gets low and out of the way there. You can see just trying to stay out of this thing, and not looking good for the boss man, as he is definitely going to need a win next week at the Roval.
Yeah, but every point counts, and that's what he's out there trying to do, is gobble up as many points. Some guys have had trouble. Those are positions that he can gain. The latest guy to have trouble, though, is one of the guys he's fighting for a playoff spot, a transfer spot, should I say, and that's the 78 there of Courtney Nelson sitting in the pit.
See the 12 there of, I believe, Andrew Medlin get the run on the outside. That is Medlin. Gonna pull up past Worsdell here. Man, he is up there. He gets in the wall, gives a little kiss here. Still has enough, though, that he could go down and shut the door, and he got lucky because if the 99 had the nose there, they were going to go around there after the wall kind of forced him to come down. Sean Foltz now taking a peek here under the 2 of Clay Walker. It's a good run there off of 2. Clay not able to really pull away on that outside. The 59 looking low here. Tries to pull even. Can't do it just yet. Clay with 2 going to run off of 4. Take a look around here. I believe that's O'Brien or Jonathan Green. I don't know why I wanted to say O'Brien there.
Hislop and Wordsell, they're side by side too, really battling hard for 11th, 10th and 11th.
Kind of see that on the bottom of the screen there. Hislop work in the basement here. The Viagra machine rolling the outside here as we're on lap 77. Battle continues.
Hislop went way up high.
Roger Hurley was behind that battle we were just watching there. And remember, he's got the new tires. He wants this thing to stay green, though, I think, John. I mean, if this thing stays green the rest of the way, boy, oh boy, that's 77. He may be feeling himself here.
Yeah, and he's got to stay disciplined here and not use his stuff up trying to slice and dice his way up through the field. He needs to be patient. Opportunities arise, and he can make things happen without using those tires up too much. Those are his opportunities he needs to take.
No, and you know, John, it's not necessarily fun to do, but when you come up and he's watching all these guys race side by side in front of him, one of them being I6 and Medlin, with those new tires, you got to be careful in how you approach these guys. As here comes his lap, you don't want to force them into that caution because you need it to stay green.
Well, not only that, but you know how hard it is to be disciplined when you know you got a faster car and the guys in front of you, and a hole appears, and sometimes the right thing to do is not, fill that gap. That's an awful tough task to ask somebody that's trying to race to do.
Right now, Andrew Kotska continues to lead the way. We're watching the battle between Hislops and Isaacs. This is the battle for 9th place. Isaacs on the outside, James on the inside in that red 92. It's the run here through the center of the corner. Isaac's just going to fall in line here. Maybe saw the writing on the wall. No reason to push that right front tire here as we continue to edge closer towards one of those long green flag runs.
Yeah, outside of somebody losing the back end of the car, which we've seen several times, this really does have the look of a long green flag run. Guys are not putting up a fight, not really challenging each other too much here. I think everybody's kind of figured out they got to get these tires probably another 20, maybe even 30 laps on them.
No, and this is no shot at anybody who's already off the track as Foltz gets that run on the outside over Clay Walker, but it's, you play the attrition battle, less bodies out there on the racetrack, just play the odds. I mean, if a guy's going to get a little sideways, he's got a little more room to catch it than he has in the previous 2 stints. So you just got to think. I mean, from what we've seen with these guys, John, we've seen 250 lap green flag races. I mean, we know it's coming.
Yeah, and just to update, Courtney Nelson has taken it behind the wall. He's done, so that's going to be a big thing for him. But I'll tell you, if I was in a pit stall next to a guy that's loading up, I'm running next door and seeing if I can buy his tires off of him. That last set.
No kidding. And Tom may need the extra set here. His guys may be begging. He's trying to work around the general Dwayne MacArthur leader's approach. Chris Bates, he gets low and out of the way. A little damage on that 81. Tom Ogle now says enough of the bottom. Gonna maybe think about getting the run here in the middle. Do we see a little crossover if he can get a good run off of 4?
Yeah, it looks like MacArthur moves down, take the air off the nose of that 11 car here. So now MacArthur goes to the high side here and opens the bottom up for the 11 here.
Andrew Medlin, gets a little sideways coming off of 2. Can't work under that 59 as Foltz continues to try to go to work on Clay Walker here. I mean, John and I, we had just, staked our reputation, said these guys were taking it easy. All of a sudden, now we're back to side-by-side battles all over the place.
Well, once you get this amount of laps in, and you see this in a lot of different forms of motorsport here. If you've got a guy that abused his tires the first 20 laps, guess what? Passing him, you always hear people say, "Yeah, I'll let him go. I'll get him back a little bit later." I mean, that's essentially what's happened. Guys that are wanting to run really hard early in the run, well, yeah, they were able to move forward, but guess what? Now the tires are not happy, and they're going to start falling back.
Watching Leiden go right up against that outside wall, the 92, I believe, of Hislop, the other car doing the same. Right now, they just get such a big run off the outside that they can save the tires here. I think that is the preferred line late, but you got to be able to have enough right front to be able to drive it in deep. But that run you get off the corner is just so impressive here at the Kentucky Speedway. And here comes the 77 of Roger Hurley. He's got those new rubbers here. Going to look to the outside of Brian Lynch. Brian, I don't think going to be able to put too much of a fight here on the bottom. As you see Isaacs now, he takes a peek under Medlin. Or is Medlin, maybe trying to set up the 92? Nope, it's Isaacs here. And Medlin not going to make him work. Falls right in line. Leiden maybe thought he was going to get a piece of it. Couldn't do it as McDowell now takes a peek on the bottom of green. That's how I'm going to remember Jonathan Green. I mean, the nose is green. I can't call him O'Brien with a green car. It doesn't make sense. Green gets in the outside wall. Doesn't really slow down the momentum, though. Able to hold off McDowell there on the bottom of Dow. I don't know why I'm calling him Michael McDowell. I'm merging his name. As Dow finally gets it done. Piggly Wiggly machine on the bottom. Leiden gets it done over Medlin. We've seen Medlin take it easy these last couple laps. He just let Isaacs by. Now he's doing the same here. Maybe overdrove there on the opener and let the car come back to him a little bit, John?
Yeah, kind of what it looked like. It's so easy to do here because, I mean, it really looks like you can drive him in deep with little penalty. It'll just kill the tires. I mean, that's the hardest thing about getting around here is just finding that sweet spot that you can stay fast and not use up your equipment too quickly.
Sliding on the outside, Medlin on the bottom here. Medlin floats up a little bit. Leiden maybe got scared, unclipped the wheel there, got in the outside wall. Wasn't too bad, but man, that's a big shot. Not going to get away with many of those. Leiden. That's at least the second time that we've spotted him getting in that wall coming out of four. Right is my man in the back here says they're going single file. He lied to us. Look at Brian Lynch taking a peek. It's a battle of the nines. 9 versus 99. Brian on the inside. Lee Worsdell on the outside. Now, you know, these two, you would think, should go hand in hand together. I mean, but they're out here fighting on the racetrack. Not much of a fight there. Lee said, you know what, Shaggy, you made a good point. We got to get along. We're working for the same goal here. Now Dow looks to the inside. He's trying to get a piece of the 99. The man with the plan, new tires here. If this thing stays green, you keep your eyes on that 77 machine. As he looks to the bottom here, is he able to... Oh, man, that's not what you want to have happen. You don't want to overdrive that right side tire, John, but at the same time, if you've got that tire advantage and you go to make the pass, man, you really got to make it stick here. You don't want to really use your stuff up, and he flips up the racetrack, and Garisco maybe gets in the outside wall because of it.
Yeah, not a lot of room for error at the speeds that you carry through here. But, you know, Zach, we're working lap 94 now. You know, where do you pit? You know, do you wait till 120? You know, do you do 110? You know, that's going to be a very interesting. I'm wondering if one car will choose to pit and then draw everybody else. I cannot wait to see how this plays out.
Yeah, I got to think here. If those guys have to pit, if you're Roger Hurley, I don't think you do. Coming in those couple laps later, if this thing stays green, he obviously won't have the pace, but I think he is good to go the rest of the way. It is going to be really interesting to see here as, well, Medlin goes right back around Leiden, and we saw earlier Medlin let Leiden go by pretty easily. Maybe the cars come back to the 12 here. Oh, Dakota maybe thinking about taking a bite here. And do it right now, though. Falls in line, trying to get some draft. Does he follow the 39? No, he's going to shoot low. Try to take his swing here through 1 and 2.
Yeah,
with a big
back to
run
your
off
point,
the top,
though, about Hurley. I think, I mean, if he can make it, I mean, he has a really good shot at trapping the field a lap down for quite a while, I think.
Oh, man, Hurley taking a peek again on Garisco. We've seen him try to do this before. So he thought about now going to the outside, but Briscoe shut that door going down the straightaway. Early going to roll this middle here. He needs to grab the throttle, get a run. Man, Crisco says you can have the run, but you're going to take a peek on the inside again. He's just doing a good job of shutting the door, going down the straightaways. Here comes the 9 of Brian Lynch. Brian Lynch last down pit road, lap 54. So he's the same as everybody else. And not that 77, but he's still showing, hey, I got something left. He's hanging with Hurley right now. And maybe just picking up the 77 scraps here as he moves on up through the field as we watch Dakota Pishka. Now we slot back to the 77 of Hurley one more time. Brian Lynch right there on the tail tank here as Dakota looked like got in the outside wall a little bit. Maybe some drivers checked up. Gliding on the outside, Dakota on the inside here. Gliding not going to have the run off of 2. And all of a sudden, John, here is leaders rolling off of 4. We are coming to lap 100. We've got 51 to go. Watching. Oh, he popped back to Dow here. He gets the move done on Worsdale. Now Green making the peak on Worsdale here. John able to get it done. And Lee slipping and sliding here. We got a long way to go here. You don't want to be fighting your tires early.
The handle of that 99 has gone away, but another development too is Greg McDaniel has climbed all over the back of Tom Ogle. And that's for 3rd and 4th there.
And realistically, you bring up McDaniel there, John. I think he knows it's not going to get a win next week with the Rover. Maybe he can run pretty well, but he needs to put together some good finishes. And look at the 77 of Hurley. Finally gets to the outside of Gorisco. And that's where you're going to see him be able to use that tire advantage. He doesn't have to pinch it off on the inside, trying not to get into Robert. He gets the pass done, and one set of corners is opposed to, I think we saw him stuck behind Crisco there 6 or 7 laps. I mean, right now, where you're trying to make the pass is everything.
Yeah, and those newer tires on Hurley, the one thing you can do now is get guys to overdrive. You can get guys into mistakes because you got the tire to put the pressure on them.
James Hislop coming down pit road, and I guess he thinks
first one.
Like you were talking about, John, if I can't make it the rest of the way, maybe come down, get the tires now, and we'll have to see what happens. He's going to have 47 laps.
They're running about a second a lap slower than what they did with new tires in qualifying trim.
Greg McDaniel making the pass. Tom Ogle gets in the outside wall coming off of 4. He's able to wrestle it, but he may lose another one here. Yeah, Clay Walker now to the inside, and that is a big bungle there for the 11. That was a huge shot off of 4.
Yeah, and Foltz is coming up on him too here, so you can't do the things you could early on in the run when those tires get worn in really good. Now the big question is with Hislop making that pit stop, anybody else heed the call and then hit pit road?
I've got to think, if the guys are good on fuel, I just don't think you're going to see them come down. I think they want to save that extra set, but if they can't make it, I think you've got to come down sooner rather than later, that 92.
Well, I think the fuel you can make it. I don't know that you can make it on the tire. I think the tires will give up and you're going to end up with a meatball and into the wall because that's what happens basically when the tires blow. You can't blow these tires out. I don't think they can go the rest of the way. I'd be very surprised if they go the rest of the way. Outside of Hurley, I don't think any of these leaders can do it.
Sean Foltz just got by Tom Ogle, too. Yeah. He is struggling. Ogle is really struggling after that hard contact in the wall. And
remember, early on in the run, Ogle was running for the lead and running pretty hard. And he's paying the price now. And I'll tell you, MacArthur is also, he's incrementally closing on Koska for the lead, too.
Yeah, well, really, Dwayne MacArthur is catching Kotska and Greg's catching both of them. So if this thing keeps playing out this way, we may have a 3-car race here to the finish, and nobody's going to have more than 50-60% left on that right front tire, John. It is going to be,
they'll be in the 30-40, if not lower.
Yeah, it will be hold on, and there may be some guys who. Oh, the general coming down pit road. Here comes Dwayne. Clay Walker right behind him.
He was coming in hot.
Clay, I think he was maybe going to make it with pit road time, but it was going to be close. He drifted in there, and I'll tell you what. I applaud what he did.
I don't see a flag there, so I think he got it woed up in time.
He went out in the grass, though. He should get the illegal pit road entry thing.
I am not seeing a flag.
Yeah, we'll have to see, but he did the right thing because he would have got into the back of Dwayne MacArthur.
Yeah,
that's kind of where I was going with that point, and that's a classy move. There is now your leader going to come down pit road, and I'll tell you, Roger Hurley, he is like a pig in you know what right now, John. He just no more flags, just keep on going, keep on going.
Yeah, but a second a lap faster, and you're turning 31 seconds. Even if he puts him a lap down, Greg McDaniel's coming. That you can make up a lap with that much time difference. I think he's going to have to stop and get the. I just don't, like I said, I don't know that the tires. I think they'll give up too much for him to maintain that lead. But I mean, if I'm Roger, I'd probably take a shot at it. I mean, what do you got to lose?
And if you remember back, Roger Hurley was the man who got ousted. Oh, caution flag! Caution flag!
Oh, Bill Martin.
And it's the Diet Mountain Dew machine. Bill Martin.
Back in.
Just a little flat.
Oh, I think he was trying to come into pit road and just missed the entry, and into the wall he went.
Got loose there, center of the corner. Oh boy, does a good job though of locking it up there. Nobody gets into him, solo car spin, but now Andrew Medlin, a lap down. Andrew Kotska, a lap down. Dwayne MacArthur, a lap down.
But those guys will all get a wave around here, so they'll end up on but they're going to be at the tail end of the longest line, or maybe even the tail end of the lead lap. So they've definitely lost their track position, and there is a lot of cars on the lead lap and a lot of cars that are going to be in front of them that are going to have fresh rubber too. So it's going to be interesting. Tom Ogle might be the one in the cat seat, because on fresh tires he's faster than the other guys around him. Early's coming in.
Greg McDaniel stayed out on the racetrack. He may think we're going to have another caution.
He already pitted. He's hoping for the wave around. Yeah, he's hoping for the wave around.
Oh, yeah, duh. Greg McDaniel was a lap down. I'm a big dump.
So these guys are a lap down. Yeah, so MacArthur actually gets the lucky dog. So that's good for him. He'll be able to take... I don't know if he's got any tires left. And maybe he's got tires left. I don't know if he was one of the guys that made it to pit road or not. But, yeah.
No, he had made his green flag pit stop, I think, taking that last set. So, yeah, he's probably all sold out. Those guys like Kotska, so pretty much everyone in front of your leader there. Well, you're not looking at that, but we'll get a lot of wave around, so that will put those guys back on the lead lap.
Yeah, everybody, I think looks like, 8 cars in front of Sean Foltz. They'll get the wave around.
And I mean, how Sean Foltz right now, he was, I believe, 7 points above the cut line, sitting P7. How huge is this for Sean Foltz if he could somehow pull a win out? I mean, that would be huge here for Foltz.
So here go the guys that get the wave around here, but they're not going around the pace car. They should be flying. There they go. Man, they wasted some time getting around that pace car. But they are gonna have to giddy up again and to get around there.
And look at those guys here. I mean, in 5th place.
Look at Hurley.
Robert Gorisco, Jeff Lyden, Michael Dow, Jonathan Green, Tom Embassy. If you had that, those drivers inside the top 10, go buy a lottery ticket. Because I mean, this is quite the mix-up from what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, Hurley parlayed his tire gamble, man. He's running P4 here on this restart.
Yeah, and now on equal footing with those guys, so we'll have to see.
Those guys are not going to catch up with the field for the green. They're barely getting there. Holy cow, that is about as close as you can get.
Yeah, no fun for those guys. They just roll up here, but they'll be spread out. You can't pass that guy in front of you before the line. Everybody checking up there, really. You can see fanned out behind. But good jump, though, for Jerry Isaacson, P2. He's able to get up in front of Tom Ogle. And that is what Sean Foltz wants to see, because I know he knows, if we knows, John, that 11 machine you mentioned, he is quick on new tires. You got to try to put people in between him and yourself.
Well, and keep in mind, too, Zach, we got a long way to go still in this. And we've seen tires give up and start to give up, before we get to the end of the race here. So guys are still going to have to protect their tires. But, man, they are 3 wide back there with McDaniel in the middle.
Here we are, the Flintstone. He sent it in there. He had to go. You got to go. I mean, the clock is ticking here, and I think, if you can lock up.
Lock behind the 10 car.
Yeah, and Nakatska knows he can't go high. He's got the 92 up there, as you see. McDaniel, he probably just wants to stay latched on to MacArthur for now. If you can follow the general here, he'll weave his way through traffic, but you don't want to leave that big of a gap here. You won't be able to slot yourself in. Is the Black Cat. He's getting back in this thing, but Tom Ogle trying to make a move here for P2. Tommy, clear high off of 4. Big move on the bottom, and man, right behind here comes Gorisco here. Jeff Lyden now swinging on the bottom here. Early on the outside.
How big of a fan do you think Courtney Nelson is of one of these non-chase guys to get a win here? So it keeps the wide, gives them more opportunity to move in.
Yeah, no, you're not kidding, because, I mean, no disrespect here to Foltz, but he's probably one of the guys, unless they're teammates that I don't know about, Courtney doesn't want to guide towards that cut line to get this win here. So this is
someone below him, Yeah,
that is not what he's aiming for. And right now, Foltz doing a great job out front as you're watching Michael Dow and Jeff Lyden. Lyden works on the inside. Michael Dow got that 60 machine rolling on that top shelf. And Michael Dow, he is putting together a good run here with that track position, stayed out under green flag, caught those guys a lap down. And man, he's showing you breathe a little life into me, man. That thing's got some speed. He's hanging with these guys.
Yeah, and MacArthur, McDaniel, and the guys that we've seen up front the entire race, they are not making a lot of ground up through the field.
No, just nowhere to go. I mean, we saw that with Roger Hurley early on. Even with the tire advantage, that last stint couldn't really move up like he'd want to. And you got to think with
MacArthur is, he's all over the back of green here, but he can't go high or car up there as it is right now. So, I mean, plus I honestly think, you can't just go all out at this point. I think if you do that, you're going to suffer at the end. I think you've got to wait. We got 150 laps to get to. I would say, you know what, lap 135, that's when I probably, that's when I think you need to get going.
Did you see Lyden get a run on the outside of Dow this time? That's where we've seen guys really try to drive it in deep when they can get that momentum built up, finally get the run on the outside. You got to take advantage while you're there. And the 39 tries to get a big run off of 2. But the 60, if he drives it in deep here, he can go up and shut the door, but he gets a little sideways on entry. Has to lift. Leiden with a big run here now off of 4. He pancakes the wall, but he's still going to get the spot. Is man, oh man. They are racing hard here in Kansas.
They are, and now MacArthur jumps to the outside. He's watching what Leiden's doing. He's going to see if he can replicate it up on top.
Working to the outside of that Oakley 98 machine of Jonathan Green, the general. Peeling it back here, just trying to roll. Can he get to the outside of the 60 of Michael Dow? Little 2-for-1 discount here at Kansas Speedway. He's to the outside. He's got the nose, and that's all he's going to want here. You just need that positioning. Now the 83 knows I got to nail 1 and 2 here. Gets back in the throttle.
And McDaniel is now behind the 83, so the 83 is even going to get a little bit of a push, you know, from the air if the 1 can get close enough to him.
Greg McDaniel, he's not as close as he'd like here. Will he be able to slot in line? MacArthur with a little bit of a hiccup there. 2, not able to clear coming off of 4 there, John. Not sure, maybe he picked up the throttle a little too early, had to lift out, but that was not the run you'd expect off that top shelf.
No, McDaniel or MacArthur's going to get a really good run here. McDaniel got a little squirrely, so that's going to cost him a little bit. But it looks like MacArthur is going to clear the 60. Set his sights on that Leiden machine.
26 laps to go as your leader crosses the line now. McDaniel gets to the outside of Michael Dow here as you see the battle behind. Believe that's James Hislop and Tom Embassy. Hislop to the outside. Andrew Kotska wondering which line, where do I go here, John?
Yeah, I just would think I would be just going on the top, man. That's where a lot of these guys, with the exception of Leiden, everybody else is on the bottom. So if you're going to make some hay here, you better figure that top out, that middle of the top out.
Shame on me for not realizing Andrew Kotska was a lap down here. He needs a caution to get that lucky dog as he is the man eligible. But boy, this is not... I mean, Kotska, he's another one, John, who if he has a good run, you got to watch out for him. He could win at the Roval. He's going to be battling with Courtney. It's going to be him going for it. Because if he finishes a lap down, I mean, oh man, that could really shake it up here for Kotska.
Yeah, that's going to put him in, he better be on it there at the Charlotte Roval.
And it really shows, too, how, you know, the playoffs, the chase shakes things up. I mean, he was the winningest driver in the regular season, and now, after today, if things don't change, I mean, he could find himself on the outside looking in with 1 race to go. As you see Michael Dow try to get a run here on Jonathan Green, Andrew Medlin right behind, and I think that's Hislop taking the peak underneath. It is, oh, Michael Dow goes around, and we are under caution. We are going to have about a 20 or 19 lap shootout, John. It just got interesting.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, that big sigh you just heard was Andrew Kotska.
Oh,
That's
no
kidding.
Man, all right.
But it looks like Dow just pushed a little bit and yeah, just kind of drove up. I guess I don't know if he didn't know if he was clear or not, but kind of drove up into the 98 there.
You know, I did just talk about Kotska needing the lucky dog. So I think this is my fault. I think this is my fault that Jonathan Green came down. I will take the blame. Oh my gosh. But it's going to get interesting. Now, okay, I don't think there's anyone here. But if you've got a set of tires, you've got to come down, right?
Go bolt them on, and then you got to stand on it. You can't, you know, be nice and, you know, pick and choose your battles. You've got to stand on it and make it happen.
Yeah, make sure you get the
pit road here
with penalty next week. Make sure you get that.
Well, if you win, but if you win, the penalty next week is irrelevant.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just deal with it. Just make sure you get those tires and go up there. Make sure you get it done here. But I don't know. I think everyone has used them. But like I say, it will be interesting. We'll have to look here. No way does Jerry Isaacs have tires.
He might have the left one still. No, I don't think. Yeah, I don't see anybody coming down. I don't think anybody has them. Daniel Hill's coming down, but I think he might be coming down just more of a put some more duct tape on that car kind of deal.
I swear to God, if the Black Cat saved tires, I'm staring at this car, Ryan. You don't have to. You can if you want. We're doing the same thing now. If he jacks this thing up, I swear to God, because this guy, you just can't. I mean, oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Daniel Hill, no way. Did they jack up the left sides too?
Yep.
Oh, 4 tires for the 7. And where is he? There are what? He's going to line up 8. Oh my gosh. John, you only need 1 a lap here. He's got to drive this thing high, wide, and hand.
8 rows back, but the thing is, keep in mind, he was caught up in an earlier incident. So I don't know how much good is left in that car. If they've been able to work on that car and massage it through all these pit stops, because we've had a lot of pit stops here today with all the caution. He's gonna be rolling. Yeah, you're gonna have to get her on the top and run that sprint car groove and get up there and get on that cushion and let her eat.
All right, I know we don't have a lot of time. I'm doing it real quick. Daniel, I know you're about to go green. This is unbelievable. You saved a set of tires. Is the car okay? Can you really be a factor in this thing again?
Well, it's 100% fixed, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm not very fast today, but we'll see. Who knows?
Well, I'll tell you what, Daniel. Oh man, you just made things exciting. Go get him, Black Cat. We are rooting for you, brother.
Yeah, 10-4, buddy. Thanks.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is unbelievable. I mean, John, out of everyone, we should have known that he would have pulled some crap like this, save a set of tires just in case. I mean, this is crazy. That discipline with a slow, damaged race car, I mean, that is unbelievable that you're willing to do that.
Yeah, and we've got 20 laps to go here, and he's got a lot of cars in front of him here. So if I'm Daniel, I'm thinking, hey, can I crack into the top 10? That would be what my goal would be, crack into the top 10, maybe even try to snag a top 5 out of this. But he's got to be careful, make sure he brings that car home in one piece. A miscalculation, things could get really bad really fast for him.
Yeah, he better forget where that brake pedal is here as we get ready to go back racing. 19 laps to go. Sean Foltz drops the hammer. We're back underway. Battle on for second here. I think both drivers spun the tires, almost got into each other. Jerry Isaac's going to move up to P2. And Roger Hurley, oh man, I thought
99 into the wall. He tried to turn down into Daniel Hill, and 99 got shot up into the wall. No caution.
Oh boy, the Black Cat lives to play another day here, but he lost a lot of time. He lost a lot of time there too, as he is way off pace there with that front groove. And man, you see a lot of guys, as I'm going to quote my partner in behind the scenes, a hornet's nest. I mean, John, so many playoff implications if one of those guys goes around. I mean, this is a lot could happen here.
And MacArthur has really recovered too. Just a few laps ago, he's a lap down, but now he's battling for 3rd place here. And Daniel Hill is real back in this group here. So, man, amazing watching these guys. And that high side, those guys are taking the chance on the high side. There's a lot of guys now. A few laps ago, it was just Leiden up there, but I'm seeing 2 or 3 guys up top now.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, a lap ago, Daniel Hill was a quarter of a turn behind after that contact, and he is already there. But right now, if he wants to get up here, well, now the top opened up through 3 and 4, so he's got it open here. Almost 3 wide. Hurley thought best of it, cracked the throttle, got up behind Isaacs. But I thought Leiden then was maybe going to take a bite here, but he had to lift too, and I don't think they're going to be lifting here much longer as they take a peek in their mirror. Here comes the Black Cat. Daniel Hill shot out of a cannon here, John, and I swear, if oh my gosh, if he steals this thing, I mean, I'm on the edge of my seat right now.
Yeah, and there's some really good battling, really good hard racing up there with Pischke and Hurley and his lot. So I know Daniel's got a fast car right now, but there's nowhere for him to go.
Yeah, and I feel like he's already in the chase. You got to put the pressure on the other guys. He's in the next round. I mean, right now he is trying to make those other guys work, make them feel uncomfortable, go up here, grab another win, and you can see there, he does have damage on that right front. It's going to be slowing it down. Is it going to slow it down enough here? Oh, he gets to the outside of his lap.
Well, remember, he's got 30-lap newer tires, so that little bit of damage, those tires offset that damage.
Daniel absolutely floored it there, coming off a 2, wasn't going to lift.
Now he's got a guy in front of him that's running his line.
Yeah, now he's got to cut underneath here. As you see, Leiden gets in the outside wall a little bit there through 3 and 4. Daniel Hill, clear, his spotter says. He gets to the outside, and oh my God, can anyone stop the freight train? Sean Foltz, though, we haven't talked about him too much. Yeah, he's looked up in the mirror, and he's got a battle behind. Dwayne MacArthur peeks to the inside. They rub. Robin's racing. Dwayne MacArthur says 8 tires turn better than 4. And
those two guys got a little bit of a rivalry between them.
They made contact twice there going down the front stretch. And Dwayne MacArthur making his move here with 12 laps to go. He's a second behind the 59 of Sean Foltz. Gonna need a 10th a lap here. And he's going to need to go quick because here comes the Black Cat just lurking.
Yeah, I think Hill's going to need a caution, but I don't think he's got enough time to get all the way up there. But I'll tell you, all this battling from second on back, Sean Foltz, he's got to be grinning ear to ear behind the wheel of that car because there's some distance there, and we're talking 10 to go now. That's still a long way, and a lot of things can happen, but MacArthur now is really pulled away from Ogle, so looks like MacArthur might be trying to reel him in here, and we might get a barnstorming finish here where MacArthur can get to him.
We'll have to see. He's cut it down. I mentioned there a second. It is down to 3/4 of a second now. 0.75 the gap I'm seeing now, a little 0.8. Bolt's going to crawl it out a little bit. Daniel Hill going to get around Grandpa. Dakota Pischke move himself up into 7th here, and now he's right on the outside of the 51 of Jerry Isaacs and Daniel Hill. Oh my gosh, here comes the Black Cat, and he's done a lot of stuff tonight, John. He obviously brought that car back after some damage, stayed out here, made it work. But without this new set of tires here, I don't think with that damage he was going to be close to a top 5 car. And, man, it is just, wow, what a move here by Daniel.
Yeah, and I think to catch Foltz, he's going to need a caution here. But I'm going to be more interested in watching MacArthur here. Can he reel in the leader? That's really the biggest question we have before us right now.
Sean Foltz is just hoping this thing stays green, but boy, that 7 would really like a caution flag here. Shake things up, give us a 4 or 5 lap shootout. Sean, he's banging on that radio telling me to shut up here.
Sean ran a 31.01 last lap to a 30.94, so I mean the 83 is definitely quicker. We'll see what they run on this lap.
Is Dakota and Roger Hurley.
Well, that time, Foltz was a little quicker, 30.96 to a 30.98. So maybe Foltz is just managing that gap and got a little left in the tank here.
It always blows my mind. I mean, John, how many times have we said this too this season? But I just don't know how you can let yourself out front and not, manage to stay on that leash, not pull too hard here and save your stuff. And Foltz is just putting on an exhibition right now as the Black Cat takes P5 at the line.
And Foltz turned another quicker lap than the 83 here.
And really interesting too to note, Daniel, last time by, oh, Lee Worsdale spun out, but no caution flag. Gosh dang it! Come on, flag man, he was right in front of you. Oh boy, oh boy. Sean Foltz is gonna think I hate him here, you know, when he goes back and listens to this thing. Promise, Sean, it's not, you know, nothing personal. Just like to see what the Black Cat has. I mean, that's why I said, you know, you got to be a pro. Kick it sideways up on the racetrack. Oh, he almost did there. He towed it out. Lee doing the right thing here, but maybe not what Shaggy wanted in. Well, it's perfect here to mention because Guarisco gets right around the Black Cat, Daniel Hill. I was going to mention, John, before we saw that spin, his times have equaled out here to the leaders. In fact, last time by, he was slower, and you got to think, you know, trying to get up there maybe used a little too much, but that's what he had to do.
Yeah, well, it's still a big game from where he was at and where he was running here, so that's good for him. But, you know, the lead is, like I said, the big question is, can MacArthur run him down? And I'm just thinking now we're coming up here, 3 to go. Ran a 31:08 compared to Sean's 31:12. That is just not enough to get there and make a pass.
No, and I think, you know, once again, I mean, obviously Daniel, with the way he's had the second half of the season, he could arguably be in this conversation. But I would say based off the year performance, I mean, we're talking MacArthur, Kotska, or Tom Ogle when you just kind of look at it at an overview. And with the way this thing's fixing to shake up here, those three go into the road course not locked in, and two of them, man, could be right near that cut line. So my gosh, it is going to be interesting.
Well,
you make sure you mark that on your calendar next week.
Based on the points at the start of this race, I mean, unless you're locked in with a win, you can't afford to have any trouble. I mean, I don't know if that's worse than actually trying to gain points, because at least if you're trying to race your way in, what do you have to lose? You go out, you can race loose, and then white flag here, by the way, but you can race loose. Guys that are trying to race not to have a problem, that's a tough way to drive a race car. But Foltz is gonna, looks like if all goes right here, 3 and 4, Foltz is gonna steal one here.
Yeah, Foltz to the point where he can roll. I think if he'd run out of gas about right now, he can still coast her and bring her home as he comes off 4 for the final time. And the 59 of Sean Foltz. Welcome to round 3 of the playoffs here as the monkey's off his back. And he can write off that Roval. I mean, he's playing with house money next week. The 59 big win. And I mean, you mentioned it there, John. He kind of stole this one. I mean, some guys came down pit road there under green flag, got trapped, needed to try to race their way back, and it just seemed like track position was king tonight. Boy, oh boy, Sean Foltz, he played it correct.
Well, and he had an extremely fast car. Sean did a really nice job wheeling that car around and putting his car in the right spots. I mean, to win these races, you know, you gotta be in the right spots to win them. You know, not only have a fast car, but being smart behind the wheel. Sean drove really a flawless race tonight, so good for him. That's huge. You know, like you said, house money at the Roval. That's probably the fact that he doesn't have to worry about the Roval is probably every bit as important right now as winning this race.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely huge here. Oh, look at that. He's going to park it against. Oh, I love this. I don't think anyone's done that all season. Going to park it against the wall, burn it down. We're going to step away for a couple minutes, grab a drink, be right back with your top 3 interviews and your full rundown here. Stick around on the Virtual Grip Network. We are back live on the Virtual Grip Network. And once again, John, I mean, these OBRL boys, they did not disappoint. We didn't, well, I shouldn't say we didn't. We did get a few green flag pit stops there, which really, really shook up the race. Is that caution, I want to say 5 to 10 laps after some of those guys pit, man. That really led to, well, maybe Sean Foltz bringing home his first win of the playoffs here.
Yeah, I mean, anytime a caution comes out in the middle of a pit cycle, that always shakes things up no matter what you're racing here. But Sean, I mean, he qualified P10, so he had some pace there, from the get-go. Like I said, the circumstances just fell to him, and sometimes you just do that in those races. But to be able to capitalize on it, I mean, to have circumstances fall your way is one thing. Capitalizing on it is another. He executed when he needed to. Like I said, he pretty much drove a flawless race, and so Sean should really enjoy this for the next couple days, and maybe start looking forward to maybe not the Roval. We'll have to find out if he likes road racing or not. If he doesn't, then he's got nothing to worry about. He can just start concentrating on the next round.
Yeah, hopefully, the worst comes to worst, he'll save up his money and get ready to put it on himself when we go to Vegas in 2 weeks. But let's go ahead. Let's take a look at that final finishing order. There were some other guys who really took advantage of their track position and salvaged a wonderful finish here. Sean Foltz brings home the win. Dwayne MacArthur started second, finishes second. Tom Ogle third, your final podium finisher. Greg McDaniel fourth. The Trash Man, Daniel Hill, a.k.a. the Black Cat. I mean, what a race for him. Maybe not as high as he would have liked, but after that early trouble to bring back the top 5, impressive. Crisco started 20th, finished 6th. Robert Gorisco, what a run. Jerry Isaac started 21st, followed him. Both guys up 14 spots. He's going to come home 7th. Grandpa Dakota Fishka bringing home 8th. Roger Hurley 9th. And James Hislop rounds out the top 10.
Coming home 11th will be Brian Lynch, followed by Jeffrey Leiden. Andrew Koska winds up 13th, followed by Tom Amassi, followed by Andrew Medlin. Michael Dow will come home 16th, Clay Walker 17th, Lee Wordsdell is going to come home 18th. Bill Martin will come home 19th, and rounding out your top 20 will be Victor Lane.
Jonathan Green coming home in the blackjack position. Chris Bates coming home 22nd. Bert Dodson 23rd. Courtney Nelson. The pressure is on next week at Charlotte as he comes home 24th. Scott Negus 25th. Torrance Childs 26th. Andy Thomas 27th. Lloyd Moore 28th. David Brand 29th. And Larry Corey coming home 30th, I believe. Yeah, a couple more. I'll just finish them up. Todd Cousins 31st. Patrick Martindale 32nd. Fred Wolford the 3rd, 33rd. And Nicholas Self rounds out the field as we'll go ahead. We'll bring up that 3rd place finisher, Mr. Tom Ogle. Tom, Shaggy in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, hey, at the end of the day, I mean, that green flag pit stop really shook some stuff up there, Tom. I know you weren't expecting that caution flag, but, man, what were you thinking? Did you even think you'd be able to finish on the podium after, having to get the wave around? Because you really had your work cut out for you.
I didn't have to take the wave around. I stayed out. I caught the caution.
Oh, I thought you were one of the guys who went in there.
No, I didn't go in. I was in second.
Shame on me. I'm a big dummy then.
No, I'm one of the ones that hit the lottery. I'm one of the fortunate ones.
But it seemed like, dude, you can say fortunate. Well, that's right. You did get to stay out because I remember. Now, almost every restart here, Tom, you were P2. I mean, it seemed like that was a terrible place to be.
It was terrible because I got burnt before up there. If you get a good start, especially on old tires, all it takes is that leader to spin his tires for a blink of an eye, and then you get a black flag and you got to do a pass through, So I had to, because I can usually restart really good, but and then when somebody stayed out on old tires in front of me and it put me behind because they don't go, you know what I mean? Just the dirty air here was terrible. Like, the difference between leading and being in second was like 30% on your tires.
So it was that bad, because that actually
was
led me to
terrible.
my next question. It seemed like, I mean, not that, Sean didn't deserve this win. I don't mean that. But it seemed like really track position was king tonight, because, it didn't matter if it was you or Dwayne. You could get there, but you just couldn't get around.
Right, you would catch the guy. Now, Sean drove the perfect race. He, on that real long green flag run, I had tried to pass Dwayne and burnt up my right front because I didn't want to let Andrew get out there so he could just ride, you know what I mean? Because I kind of did that one long run, and my tires were unbelievable. I hated to see that caution. But I heated up my tires too much, so I was off. And then I hit the wall off of 4. And that hurt me on that run. So then I kind of let those guys go. But then I flipped and caught that caution. So that kind of saved me. But I had damage, so I had lost a little bit of straightaway speed. But I couldn't have passed Sean probably because we were running the same line. And the top never came in because not enough guys ran it, and it was dirty up there.
Now, obviously, Sean kind of, that one of the wild cards here, gets the win. He was near that cut line. You're going to be feeling pretty good in the points. You've got some consistent finishes, but there's a little pressure going on at the Roval, man. Do you think we can pull a win out, or at least guarantee a top 5, maybe?
I hate to guarantee anything, but I'll get it. I'm a top 5 guy there. Andrew's probably going to win, or Courtney, Dan Hill. Those 3 guys are kind of the class of the field, and then it's probably me, maybe Dwayne, and a couple other guys are like best. So if I can get best in class, and then Talladega, I believe, is next, and I'm just looking to get to Phoenix. If I can get to Phoenix, I like my chances.
Yeah, but next week, remember, that's the next cutoff date, so just make sure you're inside that top 8. But
yeah,
congratulations.
I feel pretty good. I feel good about it. I'll be fine. I'm going to put in some time this week and stuff, but also I had to keep myself from, were you guys watching when Dwayne passed me there at the end?
Yeah.
And he kind of ran me up the track a little bit.
You guys made a little contact there.
It was so, I was like, I just told him it was so hard not to just turn left and ride him the whole way down the front stretch. But my point battle was like, I'm like, all right, it will kill me in the points if I wreck us both. So I'll just let it go.
Yeah,
I just told him that.
I think I mentioned the rivalry.
I mean, he's gotten the best of me a bunch of times. He got me in Darlington. I'm going to have to start repaying the favor a little bit, I think. I did cost him a championship one year at Phoenix, so I wrecked us both at Phoenix going for the lead. So, I mean, he owes me, I guess. I love racing him, honestly. I really do. We race each other hard and clean, but right now he's one up on me, so stay tuned.
Well, hey, Tom, hell of a run. It was fun to watch tonight. Congratulations on the P3. You got anybody you want to thank here before you load up the trailer tonight?
Just all the guys in the admins that put in all the time. Like, the amount of time they put in is crazy. And Andrew Medlin and Brian Lynch, we kind of talked through some stuff tonight. They had some bad luck. And you guys for putting on a good broadcast and letting me ramble on when I come in here.
Well, hey, we appreciate it, Tom. Good luck here at the Roval next week.
Yep, thank you.
Tom Ogle, your 3rd place finisher. Now my man's going to have P2 finisher. And, John, Tom told us a little bit about that contact there. Let's talk to Dwayne.
Hey, Dwayne, this is John. Hey, I tell you, buddy, you know what? You started second. You came home second. A lot of work to not make up a whole lot of ground, it seems. But you had probably the most interesting day of everybody in the top 5. I mean, you want to talk about Dow Jones, up, down. Walk me through your race, because you had a Code Brown moment early on, and you recovered nicely from that.
Yeah, it was, that was an adventure. I mean, I came into the race, I had a really bad week last week, and I was in a hole. I knew I needed every point. Tom took the qualifying point by like a hair. And then early on, I wanted a leading lap point, and then I was just going to settle in. I felt real good. Felt really good. Dirty air was a mess, but I felt like it was good. And I slid my pit box, and the caution comes out. And then had to drive through the field, and let me tell you, I mean, in that dirty air, that was no easy feat. And I had to race Tom a little bit harder than I wanted to. I told him I'm sorry, I needed it. I was in a hole, I was below the cut, and I dove in there and made it stick. But by the time I got clear of him, I had nothing left for Fultz. I'd kind of used it to come through the field. So it was an adventure. It was certainly an adventure. At one point, I looked around, and all the guys that I'm chasing in the points were all around me. And then Fultz was another one, and he was leading. And I thought, well, this is just perfect.
Anybody that might have caught you on the podcast back in the spring will know that you and Tom are good frenemies. So it's pretty cool. If anybody hasn't seen it, find that podcast and go back and watch it. So I do believe you had an Ogle Auto Sales shirt on during that one. So, but Dwayne, the one thing I've got to ask here, and because I have not seen it yet with the new tire model and aero on it, how nervous were you about getting to the end? Because you guys used up half your tires, and you guys were on lap 50. You guys had a long way to go, and you only had a couple sets there sitting in the pit area. So, I guess, what was your mindset? I mean, holy cow, you talked about having to kind of watch what you're doing. Sure didn't look like you guys were watching what you're doing because you guys raced pretty hard still. Tell me about the rest of that race when she took those second set. I mean, what was going through your mind?
Well, I wasn't worried about making a full fuel run on the tires, and having tires to make it. As long as, for me, all I was worried about was I was saving more than everybody around me, so that nobody would be running me down. Outside of that, I mean, we were using a lot of tire. It was starting to slow down a little bit. But I think if you had the right line and you're really, really, really patient, I mean, the rears, the lefts, all the tires were wearing. So I saw some guys getting loose and having some issues. You really just had to have the right line. I knew I could go a full fuel run. And all I was concerned with, like on the first run, was making sure that at the end of the run, nobody was faster than me. So
you could have fooled me, because after you said, oh, when I saw everybody pit on lap 23, I was like, oh, that's an indication tires are an issue. And then we interviewed you and you're talking about the tires. I didn't think watching how hard you guys are racing, I didn't think in a million years you could make it a fuel run on those tires. So kudos to all of you for getting to the end of that here. And man, I tell you, this is going to help you in the points going to the Roval here. What is the goals at the Roval?
Yeah, they've changed now. I got myself back into, I'm probably the cutoff, realistically, I'm like in 7th now, I think, with the 2 winners. I got like a little bit of a cushion. Originally, earlier today, I thought, I'm done with letting these road course guys win, and I was going to go try to reclaim the throne at the Roval.
Oh, come on, do it.
Used to have, but now I probably have to watch my points a little bit and have a good race. But I mean, Courtney and Kotska, we're coming, so we're coming back for that.
Well, awesome, man. It was enjoyable to watch you guys race tonight, man. Anybody want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, just shout out to everybody on the track tonight. It was pretty good, except for whoever caused the caution. That was really terrible, but just kidding. Outside of all the admins put this together. Victor, of course, keeps the lights on. Our sponsor, YesterYear Racing. My teammates, a bunch of them had a real good run tonight. McDaniel, I think Crisco almost had his first top 5 of the season. Dakota and Clay were out there as well tonight. So my teammates at Last Ditch Racing. Shout out to the wife, who's probably watching the broadcast, actually.
What's her name?
Ricky.
Hey, Ricky. Thank you for watching.
I like that. So shout out to everybody that lets me just come down here, hop in the simulator and race. And thanks to you guys for putting on a good show and not giving me too much of a hard time last week when I'm not sure what was going on.
All right, man. Well, we look forward to seeing you next week. That's Dwayne MacArthur, our second place finisher here. And Zach, man, I tell you what, you've probably caught up with a very jubilant Sean Fultz.
No kidding. Sean, Shaggy up here in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yep, I got you guys.
I'll tell you, man. I mean, obviously, let's just call a spade a spade. You were, I think, 7th, right near that cutoff line. What is it like, man, to get a win knowing you can go to the Roval now? And, dude, you don't even have to show up. You're in round 3. I mean, you got to feel good.
Yeah, this is absolute, awesome win. And speaking of not showing up, I'm actually going to be out of town, and I won't be making the Roval. So I was hoping I'd get a good finish. I knew I probably wouldn't win, but if I can, I saw contenders have problems, and I led a lap, and I was like, oh, if I can get some points, maybe cross my fingers. But then the win, I'm like, all right, now I'm to the next round.
That is absolutely huge, man. Obviously you got a lot going on during the race, but in those closing, 40, 50 laps, is that going through your head at all? Hey, I'm not going to be here next week. I need to get this win.
I was initially thinking that I need to get a good finish. I didn't think I had the car for the win, but then when that caution came out and all those other guys pitted, and then I could come in and pit, and I got the lead, and clean air was obviously king here at this track, and I was like, okay, I'm good. And then that caution came out with I don't know, 20 or maybe a little more than that laps. I'm like, oh, this is going to work out, and it did. I maintained that gap throughout the whole run, and I was just shocked that I could stay where I was at and they couldn't gain on me.
Yeah, I mean, no surprise. You're the third driver on we interview here, and you're the third one to talk about that clean air. Just kind of try the people out there listening, I mean, Dwayne's wife, Ricky's listening. So tell her, what is the difference, Sean? I mean, how do you feel it do you actually feel it in the steering wheel, or do you more so feel it in, the way you're wearing out those tires when you're kind of stuck that second car in line?
Well, for me, it like the wheel to me seems like it gets numb when you're right up there. Like there's no feedback, and then obviously the car doesn't stay where it wants to, where you're pointing it. It starts to slide up the track, so then you got to start getting out of the throttle a little bit more to keep it where it's at, because you don't want to put more wheel into it, because then you're just destroying your tires. So you just kind of have to maybe get off the guy a little bit, maybe offset yourself to the bottom or to the top of them. Try to get some air on the front nose, because tucked up behind someone, you go into the corner, it doesn't want to stay there. It just, like I said, the wheel gets numb and the car just kind of drifts up the racetrack.
So obviously you're not at Charlotte next week, you mentioned. When we roll into Vegas, are you feeling confident? I mean, the next 3 races for you, Vegas, Talladega, Martinsville, that's a good mix of racetracks.
I like all those tracks. Martinsville, you can get yourself a handful of incident points, but still have a good finish. But your incident points kind of throw that all out. I'm hoping I'm back in time for Vegas. That's my only concern. I should be, but I just want to really make sure that I can start Vegas.
Well, we hope you're back, Sean, and wherever you go, have a good time while you're there. Congratulations on the big win and locking yourself into the next round. Before you load it up, man, you got anybody you want to thank?
My team, Top Flight Racing, all those guys do an awesome job, helping each other out. You guys for excellent broadcast, and everyone at the OBRL, drivers, admins, everyone involved, they all do a great job. It's an excellent league to run in.
A hell of a run, Sean. We'll see you in 2 weeks, brother. Have a good one.
Thank you. You guys take care.
Sean Foltz stealing the win. And John, they say good things happen to good people. I mean, he has run a clean season. I haven't seen Sean mix it up with anybody, and he needed a win. Going to miss next week, and he got one. Well deserved.
Yeah, that's an equivalency of a walk-off home run, bottom of the ninth, that kind of thing, Just what a big race for him, a big victory here that's going to, catapult him into the next round. And hopefully he gets back for Vegas. That track isn't going to be too different from this one here. I mean, it's a mile and a half. I mean, the ends, the corners are a little bit different, but it's the same kind of discipline here. So obviously he was good here. So you got to think that he'll be one of the guys to watch out for there in Vegas if he can make it.
Speaking of Vegas, fired up, Ryan. Let's see what's coming up. I heard you and Ryan talking a little bit about it, and we're calling it Back on the Trail. You want to tell us a little bit about it here, John?
Yeah, Tuesday, tune in. BRL is going to bring back the the National Sprint Car Trail. And basically, that is a USAC style series. We're going to have the Silver Crown cars in it. Talk about them a little bit on there. Talk about the asphalt regular sprint cars, the dirt midgets, and the dirt non-wing 360. So just like real life, USAC has a lot of different disciplines under that umbrella that they do over there. We sit and we chat about it as we get ready to go racing this week. I think we're going to be in the dirt cars this coming week at Kern, no less.
And as I look forward, I see that I am off Tuesday. We're running the triple bypass at Phoenix Raceway. The next time I'll be back, Charlotte Motor Speedway with my man John, and we're going to the Roval. And the pressure is on. I don't mean to keep saying it, but Courtney Nelson, John, I mean, if he doesn't at least, I would say, top two, it is going to be a tough chance he's in the playoffs.
Yeah, and the beat guys like Acosta and a couple of those other guys that you just know are meddling that are just really good on those road courses. I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple of guys' names off the top of my head here, but it's not like it's a cakewalk. And he can win as long as he doesn't make any mistakes. And watch the penalty report. That'll be the big thing for that race. And if Courtney is on that penalty report and has to do an EOL, that might be an insurmountable hole that he has to climb in with no cautions.
Yeah, and if you're out there listening, I know you're out of the playoffs, but boy, if Josh Robinson showed up next week, oh gosh, that could add a wild card winner in. But that is going to wrap it up here on the Virtual Grip Network this evening, as we had a wonderful OBRL YesterYear Racing Cup Series event here at the Kansas Speedway. Had our cautions and had our green flag pit stop that, man, oh man, really shook this thing up. I'd like to thank my partner, John Hine, the dude in the back, Ryan Seneker, and last but not least, we at the Virtual Grip Network want to thank all of you for tuning in. Have a good night.